How much is a dollar really worth when you're measuring the raw, untamed potential of an arm forged in the crucible of Japanese baseball? We've seen the tweets, the furious forum posts, and the alleged statement, "Stop comparing Yamamoto to Imai." But here's the question that burns deeper than the Houston sign-stealing scandal. Was the comparison ever truly about Tatsuya Imai at all? Or was it a desperate attempt by the global machine to quantify the unquantifiable pressure placed on Yoshinobu Yamamoto? If you are tired of watered-down takes and need the unfiltered, high-octane truth about the Trans-Pacific baseball wars, then you've landed on the right diamond. Welcome back to 609 True News, where we refuse to let the official narrative dictate our reality. The moment this supposed directive, this cry from the official Dodgers Twitter account, or at least a highly influential fan echo chamber, hit the wire, the Japanese baseball community exploded. The sentiment wasn't defensive of Imai, it was utterly dismissive of the premise. As the respected baseball columnist Hiroshi Tateyama often writes, the American media tends to see only the velocity, the flash, the big contract, but they miss the artistry. They see two young Japanese pitchers with high heat, and they call them peers. It is an insult to the decade Yamamoto dedicated to perfecting the splitter. Let's look at the numbers before we even touch the qualitative argument. Yamamoto wasn't just the best pitcher in NPB, he was an aberration. His 3 consecutive Sawamura Awards are the hard proof, culminating in a 2023 campaign where his ERA hovered around a mind-bending 1.21. Now look at Imai, a genuinely good pitcher for the Lions, the kind of hurler who will reliably give you 150-plus innings with an ERA near 2.89. He's a foundation block. Yamamoto is the Sistine Chapel. To suggest they are in the same conversation, particularly when discussing potential success in the American League, completely invalidates the hierarchical mastery Yamamoto achieved in Japan. The furious reaction we saw on the Japanese forums, the Gara thread culture that fuels online discussion, was fundamentally about respecting that mastery. One user perfectly encapsulated the mood, tweeting, "If you had such bad karma in a past life that you became an Astros fan, maybe you also believe Imai is on par with Yamamoto. This comparison is trash. It deserves to be compared to nothing." This points directly to the sharp argumentation at the heart of the matter. The comparison itself is not a genuine appraisal, it is a weapon. But who is wielding it? Many people, especially those in the US, try to dismiss this as mere nationalistic pride, arguing that the fans are simply overprotective of their superstar. They might say, Imai throws hard, he has an aggressive mound presence, and in the chaos of MLB projections, he represents high upside, perhaps even more than the small frame of Yamamoto suggests. This is where we anticipate and destroy the counterargument. That perspective fundamentally misunderstands the weight carried by the Dodgers' $325 million investment. The comparison isn't about Imai's upside, it's about the Dodgers' anxiety. When a team pays a generational price for a player, they need that player to be perceived as incomparable. Any suggestion that a cheaper, domestically available option could come close threatens the validity of the contract. As veteran MLB agent Mark the Hammer explained to me off the record, the moment the whispers start, the Dodgers have to shut them down. It's crowd control, it's asset protection. It's not about Imai being good, it's about making sure the public accepts that Yamamoto is transcendent. The deeper conflict, which escalates this from a simple internet spat to a true climax, is the nature of the clubs themselves. The forums were quick to call out the hypocrisy. The Dodgers official is calling for respect? This is the club that acts like a money-grabbing bully, stealing talent from under everyone's nose. They are just as much of a dirty organization as the Astros, only they cheat with their wallets, not with trash cans. This is the emotional connection point, the shared sense of being wronged by the American baseball hegemony. Yamamoto is theirs, a product of their system, but now he is an asset controlled by the perceived villain. The comparison to Imai, while absurd on the field, suddenly becomes a psychological attack. See, you paid a fortune for something we could have found for cheap. proving you overvalued the NPB product. This internal conflict, the joy of Yamamoto's success versus the resentment towards his new club, is the true struggle. Here is the plot twist, the real kicker that brings the whole saga into focus. The consensus among the NPB commentariat now is that the original Dodgers official statement was likely an intentional piece of Gohara, calculated trolling, not from the front office, but from an influential fan or a media personality designed specifically to generate the reaction we saw. It was bait, and the NPB fanbase, with their fiery protective nature, took it hook, line, and sinker. The true brilliance of Yamamoto is not just his pitching, but his ability to expose the raw, passionate core of baseball fandom across both oceans. Imai may be an excellent pitcher, but Yamamoto is the catalyst that forces the global discussion, demanding respect not just for himself, but for the entire caliber of the league he left behind. The next time anyone suggests such a ludicrous comparison, remember, it's not about judging Imai, it's about attempting to diminish the $325 million question mark, and we, the fans who truly understand the depth of NPB, refuse to let that stand. If this analysis fired up your competitive spirit and you believe the global baseball narrative needs more truth and less hype, then make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your fellow Diamond Warriors, and subscribe to 609 True News for more uncompromising commentary. And tell me in the comments below, which NPB pitcher do you think is most underrated by the current MLB scouting paradigm, and why are we always forced to defend the obvious? Let the debate continue.